Ras Shorty I, first of all, I'd like you to re-emphasize, you did not play a little part in, you were not a bystander, you were not just a part of the discussions, you were not there when somebody else was doing it, you are the composer of Soca.
Not composer.
The creator,
Inventor
of Soca music.
There's a lot of error going on on that, but sometimes you have to get bold and just make it plain that nobody else did it. They followed after. I am the inventor and nobody else. As simple as that.
The soca music as it is today, when you invented the soca music and you had plans for it the years down the road as 1997, how you envision it to be, are you satisfied? I know you have had some comments about what some people have done to it, but even right now, do you still hold that position?
Well, to a point, to an extent, if I invent something and I don't continue improving it and somebody else takes it over in that form, well then you would expect a man to do what he wants to do. So then this is what happened. I got out of the thing for the last 20 years. I have not been very active as far as soca music is concerned because I was doing something else in the sense that I was seeking to put my house in order, get my family's head together, so that when we come out to face the world, they can handle that with a different mentality. Because so many young people come out in the world to sing as singers and musicians, and they get caught up in the vanity, and the next thing you know, this one on drugs, the other one on this, and all that kind of thing. So I decided, by the grace of God, what I was going to do is to stay home and take care of my household, get to know my children, get to know my wife, put my children head in the right direction so that they could have the right mentality to understand the concepts of life and live a good life, live a exemplary life in the world.
You also said that there was a misconception where people thought that when you said soca being the soul of Calypso, meaning that you were mixing American soul music into Calypso to make soca, but in effect it came from the soul within you.
Yeah.
Now, if within the soul of a man there's a rhythm called chutney, and he mixes that with soca and calls it chutney soca, you as the inventor of soca, are you saying to yourself then that it is going in the direction that too I wanted to go?
Well, let's look at it this way. When soca was first invented, there was no name, but there was a vibration that they now call chutney soca. Okay?
Indrani?
Yes. All right, this is where the soca whole thing began. I combined two rhythms, Calypso and East Indian music together. I had no name, but what came out of that is what you now call chutney soca today. Okay? In the following year, I did a complete album, The Love Man, and all my tracks had the same rhythm, the East Indian and the African thing together. And the Africans complained that I was spoiling Calypsos. The Indian complained that I was desecrating the music. So what I did was simply take the feeling that you got from the two rhythmic structures and put them on traditional instruments. I took out the East Indian drum, I take out the dantal, I take out the mandolin, and I put it on the drum set, the triangle, and the guitar. So what you had was the same thing, but without the East Indian musical instruments. And now I name it S-O-K-A-H. The K-A-H was to reflect the East Indian influence into the music, because Ka is the first letter in the Sanskrit alphabet. It represents movement, and soca is the power of movement. That's all.
To be the inventor of a beat that is creating such a sensation as far and wide as possible, where you find Caribbean people, whether it's in the Caribbean, whether it's in North America, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Asia, you must be a person that sits down by yourself many times, meditate, correct?
Yes, definitely. You must. I mean, to maintain your integrity in a world like this, one must concentrate on godly things.
So then if you are standing among some people who are focused on a certain rhythm that's happening on stage, and they may be moving and expressing themselves in a certain manner, you may be the only person there maybe looking at it from a different perspective then.
Well, yes, I suppose being an inventor, you look for things. I mean, if a guy is inventing some physical thing like a car or something, his mentality would be different to the average man because he would be looking for something different.
Would you say that a lot of soca artists do not give much thought to the music?
Well, today what I have observed is not really the artist and the music, is the musician and the artist. When I did the work, it was the music accompanying the artist. Today is the artist accompanying the music. You know, because then the artist really don't play no part. He only there's a bunch of lyrics that the artist says at all times, but the music changes. So then you find it's more the musician than the singer.
Then there is another music of the Ras Shorty I, Jamu, J-A-M-O-O. Explain.
Jamu comes from two words, Jehovah and music. So it's Jehovah's music. It is soca music. It is born again soca music. It is the gospel of Jesus Christ in soca music. It is conscious Trini music. It is a music that tells the story of life. It doesn't just make you move your pelvic area like traditional soca, but it moves the whole man. It is for upliftment. It is for edification. It is for strengthening spiritually the hearer. So Jamu is the next stage in the development of soca music. Is where I believe the music ought to have gone.
You are aware of that album, Sing Out My Soul?
Yes, yeah, very old song, very old album.
If I would play that album, would I find something that will be reminiscent of Jamu in that?
I don't know. I can't say. I can't remember the contents of the album. That to me was more like yes. I suppose you might.
Could you give us a taste? Now, before you do that, let me tell you that when we played "Watch Out My Children" on CultureShare, the Ras Shorty I and the family and the Love Circle live and unplugged. Now that was so important when we said live and unplugged that it was so natural that people called us asking for "Watch Out My Children." So now that we just spoke about Jamu, I'd like you to give us a little taste of that Jamu on the guitar.
God, the Most High God, He so loved the world. Yes, He does. That He gave His only begotten Son as a ransom for our transgressions. Yeah. He said if we live in His consciousness, Jesus Christ, our tears will be dry, we shall know the Most High, we won't die. I and I won't die. Oh, Jamu, muja, Jamu, muja, Jamu, Jam music, Jamu, muja, Jamu, muja, Jamu.
The Ras Shorty I. Shorty, you are here in New York and you were here for a big concert, and I remembered when we spoke the last time in Piparo, you said that one of the things you'd like to see happening is that when in the quest to spread the music far and wide, you would like to come out, let the people hear Ras Shorty I. Yeah. Would you say then that this trip has been what you have been looking for all along? No, that is all finished with that performance.
Yes, it's an opening. The door opened and I walked in. And one thing I understand about doors being opened, when God opened a door, no man can close it. So I know that this has just been an opening. Now the rest of the family will follow me. So we're going to come out here, the whole group, in the very near future, and we're going to start to spread the music all over the place, because there's a lot of people here and other countries that believe that I don't travel. Because I know that an individual went to some person and he said, well, I had to get Ras Shorty I to come out here, and the fellow said, Ras Shorty I don't travel. You know, he going up in the forest and he's just living there and he stopped traveling, but that's not the truth. I wasn't prepared to travel for a certain period of time because I was putting my things in order. Now my musicians are my children, my wife and children, so I have my band at home and we are ready. My youngest son is 15 years old, so then we are ready to travel, we are ready to do what we have to do. And I believe that we are going to do what we had set out to do from the beginning of the Soca inception, to take the music to the world. Cross over, as everybody wants to do, because that is what we believe the music ought to have gone. And I don't know whether it will, as it is, but I am sure that what we are doing will take it the next step of the way.
Records and CDs plans?
Yes, we are going to be cutting a CD soon, another one. We have one out already, Respect Woman, and we're working on the second.
I'd just like to bring up one point to you that I made quite a few times. You hear many times that the artists talk about the way the music would make it is when you reach on the Billboard charts, when the white man industry takes it up and puts it on all the big record labels and all of that. But I had a vision per se, and I felt that with the amount of, we have millions of Caribbean people that are spread from over Europe, Asia, Africa. If we were to bring the music to these people where they are, who can identify with the beat, and having them to see our music and start purchasing our CDs and records, then we reach where we're going. We're talking about millions of Caribbean people here.
Okay, but then we can probably look to the thought that two things we can think of. A king has no honor in his own country and in his own home, and then we can look that what we have, we must share with others. So if we, as Caribbean people, has a music that is unique and distinct and authentic, then we need to take it to the world. We need to share it with other people. Because if you have something good, you don't want it for yourself. You know, if you have something good, why keep it for yourself? Give it to the world. And I believe that that's what we need to do. Go to the world with it. I mean, regardless of who takes it there, I would wish that we had some Caribbean people who would take the music and go with it to the rest of the world, rather than we have to go to a foreign label. But if we have no choice, well, then just do what is necessary to do. The idea is to take it, and whoever is the carrier, let them go with it.
The gospel according to Ras Shorty I. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure once again.
Right.
All right, man. AVION Blackman, the bassist in the whole family circle with Ras Shorty I. And AVION, we have been looking at you here in New York City with the group when we came up to Piparo.
Right.
You have gotten a little taller, but that is natural. How was it traveling with your daddy to New York for the first time?
Well, it is a nice experience. Going different places here and there. I mean, like, have more knowledge of the different parts of the world, because this is my first time, and I hope to travel different more
We
places.
just came back from California. We visited my two sons out there, OC.
Yeah.
My three sons rather, OC, Guy, and Sean, out in California. They have their group out there.
Family is spread far and wide. AVION, you know, one thing that fascinated me positively when I looked at the family performing, when you did Watch Out My Children, and then Daddy went into the different languages, and they had the entire circle was actually singing the languages along with him. Was it difficult for you then to learn it along the way?
Some of them.
Or did Daddy pounded it in you and said, you better learn this, otherwise it's fire and brimstone?
No.
Oh, okay.
No way. No, some of us had, like the German. I didn't even do it in the studio. But the French, I learned it right there and then in the studio. And the Spanish and all the rest. But the German was kind of hard for me. Yeah.
You think this is a wonderful learning experience as you grow older, being with your daddy and the rest of your brothers and sisters and mommy?
Yes. They are my strength and backup. Apart from God, they give me strength, and because I'm sure that there are people who love me and who'll be there for me no matter what.
AVION, thank you very much.
Okay.
And keep up the great work.
Okay.
All right.